Hello, it's Circus Star Rose. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, thank you if you've been here before. It's cold. I'm not really sure how long I'm going to be able to stand out here, and I really hope that I could talk about some things in a fairly decent manner. I do have a hat and gloves in the car. I kind of didn't want to wreck my hair, but now I'm rethinking that because I'm not really sure how successful of a video I'm going to have for today, being that I am pretty cold, and it's pretty late. We're actually nearing evening. It's probably about 4 o'clock at this point, which was definitely not intentional. I got caught up in editing and other things, and like I had mentioned in probably the previous video, unless I do get to publish another one after that. One of the previous videos, one of the recent videos at least, if it's not the one before this, I mentioned that I extended my Sunday workout routine. Today was more of a normal day, longer than a weekday, but it wasn't like crazy. I didn't work out for hours today because I just didn't have that oomph today. So. And that's the way that I want it to be. I want it to be very inspired. I want to be really very respectful of how I feel and not try to push myself or force myself to do a lot, even though that, I know that I can do certain things. Doesn't mean that I'm always going to be feeling up to it. And I definitely want to respect and honor how I feel when I'm not really feeling it. So I still did a workout, but it still managed to be very late in the day, even though that I didn't work out for like hours because I did editing also, and that took quite a bit of time. And I am back in boxing. I didn't mention that. I'm already 3 sessions in, so it's just 6 weeks, 1 day a week. There is a 2-day a week option, but I take French on Tuesdays. So as for right now, I'm just going to keep the boxing 1 day a week, and I don't want to overdo it with the physical fitness type things anyway. Kind of don't want to really overdo it. So I think I'm at a good spot. I think I'm at a really good spot with all of that. I feel like I wanted to extend an idea of something that I talked about in the last video. I'm gonna have to, and again, I'm cold, my head's cold, so I'm not gonna be able to think very clearly. I'm just really happy that the sun's shining a little bit. It's going down, but I'm happy that it's at least shining on me at all. So that's definitely very helpful. And it looks pretty. It looks very pretty. But I feel like there was an extension of an idea I wanted to talk about from the previous video. It might have been about the habits, which I talk kind of about in every video. But creating momentum for whatever it is that you want to do in your life. So for the editing, I constructed a new habit that I'm going to try out with that, so that I'm not doing all of it in like 1 or 2 days. I'm finding that with my projects that go beyond school, I'm kind of handling them the same way. I had a realization today that I am handling them the same way that I did when I was in school, which is, I would work on them a little bit here and there, but not like do, massive amounts of work on them. I would kind of like do like, in some classes we specifically had to do like a rough edit or a rough draft for something, and then kind of work on it over time. But because I was taking a lot of classes, and because I'm me, and with the habits that I've had, I feel like I didn't work on them in that in-between time as much as I could have. And I didn't manage my time. I'm sure I didn't manage my time as efficiently as I could have. So for this, now that I've established a fitness, I've conquered my fitness goal. I've proven to myself that I actually can get up early enough and do a workout early during the week. Like, doesn't matter what's going on at work. I could still work my fitness schedule around that. So that's pretty cool. That's something that I've conquered, I'd have to say. And so since I've done that, it's making me wonder, what other things have I not conquered that I feel like, I don't want to use the word lacking. That just came to me, but that's probably like a built-in word, built-in disempowering word. What other excuses am I making? Or that's a good one. That's a good one. And I'm not being hard on myself when I say that. I'm just saying that it's not like it's not intentional. It's not like, and I'm not shaming myself for that. But where else am I not showing up for myself in a way that I'm making excuses for some other goal that I have? And I've mentioned in so many of the videos now that I want to be on here so much more frequently. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to, I would like to record more frequently, and I'd also like to establish an editing, consistent editing schedule, which I did. I established it, and now we're going to test it out. It's like a little experimental thing. Because instead of cramming, like I'm cramming for a final, and like getting all of the editing for a video done in like a day and a half or something like that, or 2 days or a day, I can work on a little bit every day and just carve out a small amount of time, just set aside a very small amount of time every day, like a very small, easy to manage amount of time. And I know the excuse is that I come home and I am tired a lot of the times. I'm not as clear-headed, in the later part of the day, especially after a work day, because I have other things and other people, other interactions and other experiences that are kind of in my consciousness that I bring, that now I've come home from that, as opposed to, a weekend where I'm free to do like whatever I want to do. But even if I'm tired, I realize that I could still, like, where the excuse lies is that, like, I think that somewhere in my mind, it's almost like I feel like I have to edit the entire thing in one night, like after work. And that is absolutely not in any way, shape, or form something I would ever ask myself to do. So I'm trying to set aside small amounts of time every day. Also, in addition to my fitness routine, to edit. And that would help me, that would really help me get a lot further with this whole project. And so I'm excited about that. Because if I set aside a small, very, very doable amount of time, very manageable amount of time, then the rest of that night can be devoted to whatever. And that's like a nice little thing to look forward to. And I enjoy editing. That's the funny thing. And I'd rather do the editing in the earlier part of the night anyway, because it can tend to stress me out if I'm like running through footage and running through it and then finding this and finding that. It's not good for my adrenaline, like as it gets later into the night where I'm, where it's nearing bedtime. So I'd rather do that after, like right after work, eat a little something first and then do that, and then maybe eat something else and then do whatever I want. But then I know that I've set aside time for something very important to me. That's, my own personal projects. And I again, it's like going back to that fulfillment thing, extending that idea, because I think all these dopamine things that we do, if I come home, a lot of times, like sometimes I'll just like overeat or something because I'm just tired. I feel like I'm like in a zombie state, and like my emotions might be out of whack, whatever happened, depending on what happened in my day. And I am hungry, but I mean, I could come home and just like blindly like eat things, and then I am tired, like really tired, and I have like no energy to do absolutely anything. And it's like a cycle. And instead of doing that, I can at least stop, do something for myself first, and then assess everything else. And I feel like doing that will allow me to feel a lot more fulfilled because I'm working toward a goal that I have. And I think that alone would kind of not offset, but actually kind of stop me or interrupt the pattern of reaching for something else to soothe myself. Because I'm home and I'm drained and this and that. Taking time to work on my projects first would allow me to feel actually fulfilled. And then we'll see what happens with some of these dopamine things, like, food choices and caffeine beverages. And again, since I'm drinking, I really do believe in law of attraction, law of assumption. It says that on my channel about the law of attraction. It's very law of attraction inspired channel. I just kind of veer away certain wording, I guess, because I don't know. There's reasons that I kind of veer away, overly using some of that wording, but I really do believe the mind is very powerful, and it has such a powerful influence. And how you perceive something is the experience that you're going to have with that something. So since I'm actively drinking coffee, and I'm still currently drinking it, generally speaking, I don't want to make it an enemy. I don't want to make it like a bad thing. It's very important. That is very important, to not make it a bad thing. Just like if you're eating donuts and you would kind of like want to eat healthier, well, you're eating the donuts. If you're going to eat the donuts, enjoy the donuts and enjoy the experience of eating the donuts. And I was like, the donut is such a funny word to me. I don't know why, it just sounds funny, like muffins, whatever it is. Muffin's a funny word too. Cake, cookies. If you're going to eat those things, then allow yourself to enjoy them. There's a reason you're eating them, even if you're eating them out of like an autopilot state, because you're like in a mood, or you feel emotional and you're not even really hungry, you're not even really necessarily wanting those things, but maybe they're around. I just feel like the way that you perceive something is the experience you're going to have with it and how it's going to actually ultimately affect you. So I am drinking the coffee, and I'm not going to shame myself for drinking the coffee. I'm going to enjoy the coffee. I'm going to enjoy the benefits that the coffee has, even though some of those benefits are like artificial benefits, like the fake energy kind of stuff. But I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to appreciate that about the coffee. And I think appreciating the things about it would probably actually take me closer. It would actually make me closer to the goal of taking a break from it, as opposed to being like, I shouldn't be doing this and I really should take a break from it and all that stuff. So I'm really proud of my fitness journey. And it's fun. I mean, I've been into fitness for years and years and years and years and years. Like dating back to junior high is when I started like doing actual like workouts. I'd say I was a pretty active child. I mean, I remember jumping off the couches when I was little. But when I started actually like doing workouts, that was junior high, and I don't know, it's been important to me for a very long time, and I've tended to do kind of like the same things all the time, like a lot of the time for many years. I mean, I do like CrossFit type things, like HIIT workouts, because I think they're very effective. You don't have to do that kind of stuff for long periods of time. I feel like you get a lot of benefit out of them. And I used to run, and I'd still like to run. I just feel like I want to run in a different, somewhere different than where I was running the last time I had run. And it's been a long time since I went running. But I do enjoy running, but I just find like the HIIT workouts are much more beneficial. You get a lot more value packed in a shorter amount of time of doing that than like running. At least that's what I find for me. And I just feel great after doing it. But I'd like to explore other fitness situations. Like I do want to join a gym. There's a gym that is close by to me, and I love the way it looks. Like I haven't seen the inside in person, but I've been on the website, and it's funny to say the word cozy for a gym, because You're not going to go nap at a gym. Doesn't mean that some people don't go nap at a gym, but I'm not trying to nap at the gym. But I do like lower ceilings, and I don't know, it just looks very homey. It looks very homey and cozy, personable, and they offer a lot of different things. There's classes available there, but I do want to lift heavier weights, and I just think it would be cool. It would be a fun new experience, and I get to meet like new people, and I don't know, like I just love the whole culture of that. So we'll see where I go with that, and I'll definitely update on that situation when it occurs. But for now, I'm just working out at home, and that's been very successful. I still do really much love a very long walk. I've been wanting to do that like early. There's a lot of things I've been wanting to do really early in the morning, because I just think that, like I said before, there's a magic to the morning. I just love how peaceful it is, and I don't know, I just feel like I have a lot of epiphanies when I'm like out early and just relaxing with my thoughts. And walking is a great exercise. So I mean, if you're not into like super crazy fitness, you're like jumping around, I really promote walking. Not that, you know, you have to listen to me or anything like that, talk about what you should do, but I don't want to give off the impression that fitness has to look like jumping around, you know, doing crazy things and lifting crazy amounts of weight or anything like that. I think that walking can be one of the best things that you can do, and there's so many other benefits to it. There's so many other aspects of it that make it great. You know, you get outside, you have scenery, you have peace, you have time with your thoughts. If it's sunny out, you have the sun shining on your face. I like to walk in when it's snowing too. I love to walk in a really good blizzard. I have to get some good boots, because I had to get rid of my boots. The heel broke on one of them, so which is a bummer. But I am one for going for long, relaxing walks in a good snowstorm. So that's something I look forward to as we get to the colder weather. And I am really cold right now, so I don't know what I look like in this video because I can't see myself. I have the tripod pretty far away from me, but I am cold. I should have brought my hat and probably my gloves, but next time. I'll note that for next time. So I'm not really sure what else to talk about. I just really wanted to extend those ideas again and repeat that if there's anything that you're looking to do, establish a healthy habit about it, around it. And there's like a sweet spot with, it's like show up for your goal, show up for yourself, do something small for that goal every day. Like, don't always feel like you have to give it your all. Just still show up in some way for that goal. I think we have an all or nothing attitude. That's like kind of like probably subliminally, you know, promoted in society, just this all or nothing attitude. And I just really don't. Just be consistent, and even if it's in a very, very small way with your goal, so that you continue to show up for yourself, and you continue to want to show up for yourself, and you don't feel like you have to do this like crazy thing every single day. It's just show up to some degree for yourself, and it's very fulfilling to do that. It's just really, really fulfilling. I don't like to use the word control, but you feel like you have more control over your life and your time. It's like, this is the things I want to do, and these are the goals and dreams I have, and it's like you're working toward achieving those. And it's like you're working towards something, and it just feels really good to work towards something. Like the journey. I mean, like I, you know, have gone to college, and just like the journey of that was really fun for me. I just really enjoyed the journey, and I always felt good, like working on things, you know. I don't know, it's just very fulfilling to do that. So I can't mention that word enough. Because again, I think like these dopamine habits, and again, I'm not making an enemy out of the coffee or the cookies, but the dopamine habits of, you know, the habits of reaching for these things without even thinking, can be the result of a lack of fulfillment somewhere. Not like your entire life you're just totally unfulfilled. It's just like maybe there's somewhere. I dropped my little stick. I have to like make sure that I definitely don't want to litter, so I'll just put it like, sure, I'll put it next to the tripod because I don't want to I'll make sure I throw that out. I just think you'll reach for those things a lot less the more you show up for yourself consistently in some way. I know there were other things I wanted to talk about that weren't necessarily about the habits. Like we covered the habits. The New Year's notebook. I still do have to get another one. I did want to make mention of the holidays. I intend on making another video about the holidays and my take on them, because I mentioned last year that they could be conflictual for me. We are really in the midst of the holidays, and they really showed up kind of out of nowhere. I mean, I feel like one minute it was summer and I was coming over here, and now I'm freezing. So I do want to elaborate more, make like a little sequel, like a little part 2 to the holidays kind of talk that I did last year. Maybe elaborate a lot more about that. Maybe some experiences. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. But so there was that I wanted to mention, and the New Year's notebook that I've still been utilizing. I've still been writing, but like I said in the last video, I've been I didn't get a second. I ran out of space in my first one, and I didn't get I could buy one for like $1. Still haven't done it, so I'm like using different journals that I have. A lot of times I've been forgetting, and I want to make sure that I'm staying on top of that, because that was an inspired idea that I had January 1st, and it is really neat, like to just like, you know, at the end of your day, review all the things that you did. Like I definitely want to show you, I definitely want to visit it in a video and bring it with me, and just go over some of the things that I put in there, because there's a recent page that is full of like monumentally like amazing things. And I think that day I came home from work and I ate a bunch of food, and I felt like tired, and for some reason or another I just decided to edit a little bit, and I got like the bulk of the editing done, and it like actually surprised me, because it's not typically like that's not the conditions that would be present. It's like with that, you know, with the conditions that existed, with me eating a bunch of food and being tired from work, like, so it got me thinking, and that's why the last video happened, because it just really got me thinking about, if I could come home from work, eat a bunch of food, and still get this done. I didn't even like plan on doing it, like it just like flowed through me. Then I could do this more often, and I could do it in a way where it's efficient, and in a way that I'm more consistent about it, and it doesn't have to be this overwhelming thing where I'm doing like a ton of editing. So it was just a cool experience that really took me by surprise. I surprised myself, and I think it was just, I don't know, something pushed me, something like moved through me to make me do that. And maybe the fitness, because at this point I'm on week 9 or 10. This week might be 10 or 11. This upcoming week might be 10 or 11. This week might be completing 9 or 10. I have to check the calendar, because I actually marked it on a calendar that I printed out at work, so I'm going to check that. But might be 10 or 11. So I'm almost like 3 months in already somehow to this new exercise regimen, which is pretty astonishing to me. But that could be why that happened, because it's a change. It's a change, and it's spilling out into other areas of my life in a very positive way. So that's why I heavily want to promote that. When you start to do that, and again, the comfort zone hack that I always mention, I like to do the videos outside, even though I'm freezing right now, and I'll definitely still be doing videos in the car and indoors also, but I primarily like to do them outside because it's a comfort zone hack. There was a time I was afraid to do the videos in the car. I was afraid people were walking by and like watching me and blah, 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 blah. And I've mentioned all of this, and I like to mention it in pretty much most of my videos, if not all of the videos, like at this point. I can't stress enough the importance of getting out of your comfort zone, even in the smallest way. If you want to start by shopping at a different store for your groceries once in a while, just doing little things that are different, that take you out of that like sleep state of like doing the things that you do all of the time. And the reason that we do those things is because it's like it helps ground us in reality, because reality isn't what we think it is. It is not this fixed thing, and I think we all know that on some subconscious level. And it's like doing the same things all the time. And routines are healthy, but doing the same things all the time in a way that it becomes monotonous is a way of like grounding ourselves in this reality, feeling like there's consistency and like it's real, you know, like it's certain. There's certainty with that. So I think this might be threatening to shut off soon because I've recorded a lot. So I'm going to actually do my ending right now, and I'm probably going to do it in the car also, and I'll pick the better one. Okay, I'll do a version in the car. I am freezing though. I'm thawing out. It is so cold out there. I will cover these things more. I definitely do want to do another holiday video. I am so cold I can't even think straight. The sunset's gorgeous, and if my brain wasn't frozen right now, I'd actually really enjoy it a lot more. But I'm freezing, but it is so pretty. Like, it's just so pretty. And there's a Porsche that is leaving right now that's next to me. I've been seeing a lot of Porsches lately, and I think that's a really cool sign. And good for them, you know, good for the Porsche people. I'm really happy for them. So when in doubt, take a hat and gloves with you. Like, if it seems like there's a potential for it to be too cold, it probably is. So just do that, because I'm absolutely freezing right now. But anyway, it's Orchestra Rose. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have subscribed, feel free to comment down below on pretty much anything. Feel free to comment down below on anything that you want to comment on today's video. Feel free to comment down below on anything you'd like me to cover in a future video. And always, I will see you soon.